you serious?
No hesitation on the shot. Mizrahi's feeling it. Make it 3 for 3.
And Ciolino, see you later.
Here's a chance for Sias, and there's a shot and a goal!
Will Spare will take it all the way. Touchdown Seahawks.
The extra look and the goal! A gorgeous goal by Welcome into Southside High School, home of the Cyclones, for this opening game of Long Island High School football action. I am Gavin Shull here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. The man to my left is formerly known as the legendary LI Sportsnet guy on social media, JP Cheslowitz. JP, you actually opened play on this stadium. You were telling me about it a little before the broadcast about 6 years ago.
Yeah, I was a member of the Page team. I didn't get to play that day. I was a member. I did not suit up. I was injured that week, but I did get to actually be a part of the team that played on this field.
You know, JP, I lasted about 2 days of high school football practice, so you outdid me. But let's talk about the real players, because we got a fantastic game coming up. A Southside team that, under the guidance of their head coach, Phil Onesto, has become a perennial power in Conference 3, had to play up in Conference 2 last year in the spring. Struggled a bit more than you typically see from a Cyclones team that was a year removed from making a county championship game, but they come back all the stronger this year. Levittown Division, it's technically the second year for Robert McNamara at head coach. Really, it's the first year, because you just got to coach the spring, and it was a very, very abbreviated, very weird season. Only got to play 3 games because of COVID, but an interesting contrast between these two teams down in Conference 3.
And that's the big deal here. Is people don't realize this is really year 1 for Division. Division's trying to build a culture. McNamara last year, Coach McNamara got to take over a program, and he got to basically have a little warm-up for the fall. This is really year 1 for them. This is the beginning of that rise. They hope to be where Southside is right now. 5 years from now, ideally, if Division is successful in their rebuild, and I think they could be. They have all the pieces there, great coaching staff, led by the former Seaford head coach and Lynbrook head coach back in the 70s, Robert Paul. Former Massapequa head coach Pat Nolan's back here at Division. It's a huge plus for them to have all those pieces there to help a rebuild.
And it'll certainly be fascinating to see how their offense looks in this opening game, but we'll take a quick break as in this pregame. We're going to stick with it on the field to honor the 20th anniversary of 9/11, to honor all the victims. It'll be a crucial part of this broadcast, so we'll take a minute and let it play out.
20 years ago tomorrow, the United States of America was attacked in an unprecedented fashion, leading to the deaths of over 3,000 men and women in New York City, Arlington, Virginia, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. At this time, we all pause for a moment of silence and remembrance of those lost on that fateful day. Thank you. We now ask that you please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
So a fantastic pregame to both honor the victims of 9/11. We'll also see, JP, actually 2 former players come out as honorary captains. It's 2 members of the NYPD, Ryan Rosito and Brendan Kelly. They were both on the team, actually a year before the Southside team, a year before head coach Phil Inesto. They're going to serve as honorary captains for this one, as we'll see them march out there with three of the key pieces for the Southside team that is in a bit of a rebuild. They have a lot of younger players, but head coach Phil Inesto says, don't let that deter you from how good we can be. This is Southside squad that last year at the JV level in a very competitive conference too went 5-1. They believe that this group of young guys has a chance to be one of the better classes in recent school history.
And that's the thing with people don't realize about when you come down to conference. Ask Manhasset what that did for them. They won a county title the next year. Wantagh, they were dominant for 4 years. Coming down to conference, I played in this conference. I got to play a year. I got to be a manager and be a part of the staff for a few years. It's a big deal coming down. It's a challenge because those guys are playing against Garden City. They're going against MacArthur. They're going against tough teams year in a row. That helps mold the team when they go down to this conference, when you have an advantage of playing against these top programs. You can come down and you're not really shell-shocked by playing Plain Edge or Wantagh for them in this case. They're not going to be shell-shocked by playing any of those teams this year. They're going to be expecting to be competitive because of the experience they got. Because look, if you can compete in that conference, you can compete anywhere.
Absolutely, and this is a young group that, again, went 5-1 against that level of competition. For Levittown Division, a little bit more experience. We mentioned their star quarterback, Christopher Stan Carone, a guy who has twice made, 2-year starter, last season, an all-county performer, second team, all Long Island as well. He's a real talent, but as we noted, now in his 3rd offense in a little over a year. Their offensive coordinator last year was brand new, decided to leave heading into this offseason. All of a sudden, it was on Stan Carone to learn a whole new attack, but it seems like they're going to go to a little bit more of a spread look this season.
And my advice to him is going to be just take a breath, let the game come to you. When you're the quarterback, it's a lot of with the spread offense, a lot of it's about reading. And you got to be able to read defenses. That's going to be the key for him today, is just figuring out his job and making sure you find guys that are open, not throwing bad passes. That's mostly what he's got to worry about. They can make adjustments at halftime. The goal is to make sure you get into half not making mistakes, because anything can be fixed. Everything else can be fixed later at half.
And the good news is he's a great talent in the backfield to hand the ball to. In Jack Pendergrass, we'll see him in just a moment. We're going to take one final break on the Varsity Media Sports Network and come back for game time, opening night of Long Island High School football.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, 3-point shot is up and in. You back them back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, it's the Southside Cyclones in the home red and navy blue, getting ready to kick off and start this one. Again, you're watching the opening night of Long Island High School football on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and they're going to send it over to the Division Dragons in the white and baby blue. And it'll be fascinating. We'll get an immediate look at that newly formed division offense. They'll have to contend with a versatile defensive front and a whole lot of speed in the backfield.
And you see how they placed the ball there. I was pointing out to you. You see how they placed the ball there. They might be trying a little onside kick early here.
Certainly see it would be a thrilling start to Southside season, and no, they're gonna send it deep, but a little bit of a tough bounce. And now it's picked up and taken for a gain of about 2 by, looked like number 11, Joseph Bonsignor, the second wide receiver for Division. He'll be getting some looks alongside Bobby Simpson. And let's get into the starting lineups here for these two sides. For Division, Christopher Stancarone, we mentioned at quarterback, Jared Pendergrass, the two headliners, but they've got a massive left tackle as well who's worth knowing, and Ethan Bonacci at 6'6", 320 pounds, a guy who should eventually play college football. He gets a nice block on this opening play, but the first run straight up the middle isn't going to amount to much.
That's Division I size right there. That's a big man. That's somebody I would not want to be going against all day.
We mentioned it's going to be fascinating to see the influence of a new assistant coach for Levittown. You might recognize the name if you're a fan of Long Island high school football. Rob Perpall, the former Seaford head coach.
And I said to him earlier, I was talking with Rob earlier, I said, it's weird seeing him below. But he's a Levittown guy, so this is sort of a homecoming.
And there's the handoff. Pendergrass takes a heck of a hit from Alex Phileas, the center. Flag down, so we'll let you know what that is. Pendergrass, though.
That's going to be offensive holding there.
An offensive hold will send it back. I was going to say a solid run for him, a good start to his junior season, a convertee from left guard. And now let's get into the starting lineup on the other side of things, the South Side Cyclones. A versatile defense. Brady West on that back end, the lacrosse star, brings a whole lot of speed, a whole lot of physicality coming down as a hitter. He really sets the tone for this defense and provides a security blanket in the defensive backfield.
And when I think of Southside, I think of speed. Traditionally, they've always played a fast-paced offense that is versatile with the round game. They like to be fast, and Brady West fits that.
So now a 3rd and long, and they hit, and Bobby Simpson will get just past the 40.
And right there, that's a great job there, seeing the matchup there. He saw the matchup, saw the matchup he wanted. That's going to be a big deal for him. Like I said earlier, reading. It's the biggest thing is just going to be making good passes, and you look right there.
And you're going to look at that replay as we get a feel for this Levittown offense. That a little read option throw. So taking advantage of the athleticism, the threat to run from Stan Carone. Stan Carone looks like he'll take off, escape a tackler for a moment, but not for long. He's going to go down for the opening sack of this one. TJ Mayer, the star running back, getting involved on defense early.
The superstar for this team, New State Top 100. He's been 3-year contributor for them. He was a contributor on the 19 team that went to that county final. So he's a key guy for these guys, and he's making an impact early.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 15 after Bobby Simpson ran his way for the first down. Stan Carone, a flag flies. Stan Carone, perhaps a free play, shot down the field, and he overthrew it to his intended target. Or we might have still had a live runner that time around as he was looking for Raymond Nicholson.
And right there, that was a free play. It might have been a free play. Let's see the penalty. The good idea going deep there. He saw Nicholson was almost open there. If he could catch that, maybe one step. Another penalty on Division there.
Yeah, interesting they didn't blow that play dead. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 20 ball in the 32. Looked like it was just a false start, perhaps.
And that's gonna be costly. That's something to watch here. Is Division early, they're gonna have to settle down a little bit here.
Stan Carone. So instead, it's 3rd and 15 after the penalty was declined. A slip screen, that ball stripped in, as you noted, incomplete. Fantastic play for Southside by Brady West coming in and dislodging that ball.
And that was a great heads-up play there. That's key for Southside here. Is just doing that, just making plays like that against a Division team that can definitely play with them when they can play with them that way. They can play with their speed. Then they showed it early. They're playing smart right now, but that's huge for them to be able to get a 3, to be able to get down to get them down the punt here on 4.
So Brady West and TJ Marr both back to potentially return this punt. See if Southside applies some heat. They will not, and it will be Marr on the return if he chooses to take it. Has some room if he does. Marr looking for a lane, finds one, breaks a couple of tackles, and we'll get close to the 45 as we get the initial look of this Southside offense. And JP, you were telling me before the game that this is essentially a scrimmage that counts. Both these teams really feeling each other out, trying to get a gauge of what they're doing. It's double on Division side because you don't know anything about this offense.
Not just these teams. Everybody in the county is going to be watching this game. Everybody who's going to be playing Southside, the team next week, everyone's feeling them out right now.
Yeah.
So this is a big drive for them is to set the tempo in this game.
There's a curiosity, right? And then there's an excitement that football's back. And you listen to these coaches talk. There's an excitement that football's back, and it's relatively normal form. Obviously, COVID isn't gone, but last year the spring season was just so weird. You were coming off the crunch of having winter sports right beforehand, and then knowing you had lacrosse right after, having to manage that, having to manage infections. This year, a little bit more normalcy, not just in terms of when they're playing, but the circumstances around how they're playing.
And that's big. I mean, look, normalcy is big for a lot of programs like Division or in that transition. We're trying to rebuild.
So the big story for the Southside offense, they're going to play 2 quarterbacks. The starter will be Owen West, a sophomore, and he'll hand it off on his initial play in a whole lot of space, going left to right that time.
Jack Lazito there. That's some speed there early.
Jack Lazito, this young sophomore, they compare him to Darren Sproles.
That's a nice comparison. Long time NFL running back in Sproles.
As you see the replay, got it on the jet sweep and then a whole lot of speed. They say he has an ability to just very intuitively sort of hide behind the offensive line, play a little peekaboo with the defense, pop out, and he's already 10 yards down the field.
That's Southside. Their game is speed. They're always known to be fast. And a guy like that works. That's how they like to play, speed and surprise.
So it'll be number 4, Owen West, and then he's competing with Ryan Castle, the veteran. West a little bit more of an athlete, maybe the higher upside guy, but Castle, he throws a great deep ball. He'll have a chance to impress in this one. As West, he gets off to a good start passing the ball there.
And that's big for them. I mean, if you're looking at Owen West here, he's, I believe, the younger of the
he connected with his older brother there.
And that's a west-to-west connection.
Yeah, there you go. That's kind of connection.
And that's awesome to see. Like we were talking about earlier with him being a 10th grader. This is a young Southside team, but there's still the expectation they can win here. That's the difference. Some teams, when you hear young, they're like, oh, they're rebuilding. No, their expectation is to win. And it's there's high expectations that you're coming down. So it's good to see that the young guys are contributing early.
Phil Anesto noted 2 sophomores starting on their offensive line. Or 2 guys coming off the JV team starting their offensive line. Perhaps the 2 most impressive linemen they have. As you have the little slip pass to Marr, and Marr, a whole lot of real estate inside the 25.
And that's big for them. TJ Marr's their guy. He's going to be a key to the season for them. And it's great to see how he's playing early on defense, making that big sack, and here taking that big reception there.
That's the incredible thing about high school football. You get to see two-way players. It's almost like a basketball game where you can dominate on both sides of the ball.
That's the old-fashioned way of football. Remember, football used to be Iron Man. Back up till I believe the 1950s, it was an Iron Man type of game.
You know, you'd love to see Aaron Rodgers playing on that back end, nailing guys. You get the equivalent of that experience in Long Island high school football.
But that's also the beauty of the smaller schools here. Like up in Conference 1, you don't get to see that. A lot of times there's a few guys playing both ways. Here, it's one of the beautiful things to see is guys have to play both sides.
So a promising initial drive for Owen West, 1st and 10 on the Division 23 West. A delayed handoff as you see trying to shake a couple defenders was Lazito, unable to do so. That's the disadvantage of that size. If the defenders get to him, they're usually going to be able to bring him down.
And that's the thing with size, where a lot of times where you say like you have speed, size and speed sometimes matter. Sometimes you need to have a guy who's faster. Sometimes you need a guy that's bigger. And there you need a guy who's a little bit bigger to make those plays. But his speed that's why they got him out there for the speed. And there, hey, he did a good job. He got him. He basically kept him from not doing anything real bad there. Like, for example, like you need to make sure when you get the play off like that, nothing bad happens, and that was big for them there.
Phil Anesto really excited about this offensive line. Gets Killian Hansman back, a guy with potential for some college prospects. Andrew Fingleton, who missed last year after getting Tommy John surgery, a guy who could go on to play college baseball. And again, we'll get into a little bit more, but those 2 sophomore starters so impressive as West throws on the run, and he gets his older brother absolutely killed. You know what that was? That was, you stole the last piece of pizza last night. Here, go take some tackles.
Yeah, and that's a great West-to-West connection there, and I love it having like brothers. Very rarely do you get to see that siblings playing together, especially the quarterback and receiver type combination. Usually you hear running back, quarterback, running back, but very rarely do you see receiver.
It's a lot of fun. We could have gotten, barring injury, a little Peyton to Cooper Manning maybe at the college level.
And that's cool. Like that's one of the cool things about high school is you get to see the siblings play one another. That's what makes this fun. And for Southside, these guys will remember the time of their lives. Look, Brady's going to be going on to college.
He's going to play lacrosse at Loyola, one of the top 100 players in the country in that sport, not in Long Island, in the country.
And he's going to remember this for the rest of his life.
So 3rd and 7 from the 20, just over 6.5 left in quarter number 1 as West rolls right, throws that direction, was on target, but hit TJ Mayer in the face mask. So it'll either be a 4th down attempt or a field goal for Southside.
And this is a big decision here. Do you take the points? Do you have a kicker that can take the points? They can get you the points. That's the big thing here. Do you want to test your kicker early?
You know, it's interesting. Phil Anesto He mentioned to me pregame his kicker who's just a sophomore at this point, and Nick Papadopoulos, what a name, is comfortable when they're at the 20. They are currently at the 20, so this would be the very limit of his range, but instead it looks as if they're going to trust Owen West, the young quarterback, to try and pick this up.
This is putting a lot on the sophomore early.
Remember, he went 5-1 last year as a JV quarterback. Division showing blitz. West backing up, chucking it high. No one in the vicinity, and it'll be a turnover on down, so big stop for Division.
And that's what Division needs. They need to build momentum, because in a game like this, when you're feeling each other out week one, when both teams are trying to see what they got, the goal of the first half really is to keep the game manageable. So when you know adjustments are going to happen in the second half. That's the big thing, is making sure that if adjustments need to be made, you make them, but you know what exactly you need to do here. And for Southside here, they're going to be looking at adjustments, but if you're Division, you're kind of smiling a little right now, because you're like, look, we're doing what we need to do right now. We're doing our job.
So we'll get another look at San Corona in this newfangled Division offense. And off to a slow start. Southside is absolutely hitting hard.
And that was a great play there by the Southside defense.
Yeah, TJ Marr again in on it.
And that's a big thing to watch here, is how his impact in the game. He's a game changer for them. Like, 3-year guy. He contributed on this 19 team at the county final. This guy's got experience at Hofstra.
Second leading tackler on that 29 team as a lowly sophomore. Pass complete that time again to Nicholson, a big part of this offense in the early going, but not a whole lot of room to navigate that sideline. Will bring up 3rd and 10 from the 23. Excuse me, 3rd and 8 from the 23.
This is a big third down here. I mean, do you decide to sling it out here? Maybe try to maybe go a little bit more for that. Try to maybe surprise a little bit, went a little over the middle.
Stan Carone looking, setting up the screen. And no room to run that time for Jack Pendergrass. They've tried a variety of ways to get him the ball outside of the holding penalty. They haven't been able to get much room for him.
And that's...
So let's take another look at that 3rd down play. What are you seeing here, JP? Just looked as if Southside wasn't really fooled by that screen.
Yeah, it looked like they knew what was coming. They knew exactly what was coming, and they went right after him. They kind of figured, okay, he's going with the screen. Bam.
So
great play there.
Interesting for Southside. Again, they send 2 back to receive, Brady West and TJ Marr. And it'll be a short punt. Marr will let it dribble out of bounds right at midfield. So solid field position for Southside.
And that's a big deal here, is the field position game. Look, I don't think the ball's gone the other side of the... I don't think the ball has gone into the other side of the field yet.
Yeah, only bounced there on the punt, but didn't really stay there. It ended up around the 45, so close, I guess.
I mean, that's a big deal here, is field position. Southside is right now forcing Division to have to play on their own side. And they're going into Division territory here, and they're playing it. That's a big deal here.
So you were mentioning to me pregame, I thought this was an interesting angle on it. I want you to expand as much as you can on it before this play. That Division is where Southside used to be. Southside is where Division wants to be.
Southside had a rebuild. They were going through a rebuild for a few years. They came up. Then like around 2017, they started showing shades when they upset Cary late in the season.
Oh, and how about this run from TJ Marr as he explodes into free space? The Southside sideline erupts. He takes a hit. He dives. It's a touchdown for TJ Marr. What a sprint. Oh, no. They're going to say he was marked down at the 1.
Yeah,
that's a little less anticlimactic, but let's take a look at a replay. Nothing anticlimactic about the run itself as Marr exploded into green grass. The officials initially marked that a touchdown. You see Marr at the tail end of that dive try and stick the ball over the pylon. The officials say he was just short, but what a run by Marr.
And that's a big play. Like I said, game changer. He's going to be the spark for this team. A few years back, it was Nick Lacalzi. He's the spark now. They're asking him to be what Lacalzi was for them a few years back.
Nick Lacalzi now at Navy, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, a star on both the gridiron and the lacrosse pitch. So handoff. West is sacked as he gives it to Marr, and Marr strolls in casual like a Sunday morning, and it's a 6-0 lead for the Cyclones over Division.
And that's big for them here. That's a big momentum maker.
So take a look at that replay. It was an A-gap blitz. West got absolutely nailed, but good presence of mind just to say, here you go, TJ, take that right in.
And right there, that's a momentum changer. That's in a game like this, you need a big momentum play, and that was the first real big play of the game here. And Southside got in their favor, so let's see if they can continue on that.
So coming on for the extra point is Papadopoulos. First kick on the varsity level for him as a sophomore. Again, they think he can hit it from out to 37 yards. That one, no good. A little bit of pressure on that first kick. You know, everyone's watching you. It's opening day.
Everybody's jitters on the first kick, so it's good to see if he can. Let's see if he got those jitters out.
All right, so we'll take our first break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A 6-0 lead for Southside over Division.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazi, he gets it, Perazi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman.
What a catch! Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it! Touchdown! Touchdown East!
Welcome back on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Southside a 6-0 lead over Division, courtesy of a round of 50-yard run from TJ Marr, then just punched it in from one. But JP, you were rudely interrupted by that incredible play from TJ Marr. You were getting a little bit into how this Division program basically has a chance to replicate what Southside has done under Phil Ernesto, rising up over the past decade.
For Southside, they were rebuilding the first years. Coach Ernesto had to build up a culture, build up a program. About 2017, things started to change, and they upset Cary late season. And then the next year, they took the next step. In 18, getting the Hofstra, upsetting Roosevelt to get the Hofstra. Then in 19, they go to the county final. And now they're a program. They're year in, year out expected to be competitive. And after the kick, and Division will start from the 25 here, but the big thing here for Division is they need to replicate that. If they want, they can do it. They have a good coaching staff here. I think they have the right pieces of the staff with former players like Vinny Serrano, a great quarterback. I got to watch him firsthand. He gave me some trouble. He was a nightmare to go against, to scout against. He was a nightmare. And they have a lot of young guys in here who believe in this program, who played in the program, and want to see it succeed. And Vinny Serrano was one of the last more recent competitive teams they've had, really competitive teams that were legitimate problems in the county to play against.
Stan Carone hunting for some room right will get caught in a sandwich of red and blue.
And they were very, very competitive back in 16 when I played them. They took us actually on a homecoming to overtime.
So 4 minutes left in the first quarter as Division looks to answer with a touchdown of their own.
And this is a big drive for them here. You really want to respond. This is going to test Division to see how they respond.
That's a tough throw cross field from Stan Carone. Shaking a couple of tacklers is Connor Gentili.
It's going to be about 3rd and 1, it looks like it's going to be.
I believe that's the second most productive offensive play on the day. They had the one first down to Simpson. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet for Division so far. But you're getting a feel for this new offense, and last year it was so much more run-based. It's fascinating that they bring in Robert Paul, and all of a sudden it morphs into a spread. That's what we're seeing so far.
Yeah, it is a little weird to see Robert Paul blue and running a spread offense. So
3rd and short, Stan Corona, a short little toss and not able to get back to the line is Jack Pendergrass. They've targeted him a number of times on those short throws on 3rd downs, but you can see every eye on that Southside defense, all 22 of them, keyed in.
And that's a big deal here for Southside. And you have, I think you guys are, I think it's Rob there you got in this camera.
You're Rob McNamara.
And Coach McNamara, he played here. And that's the thing, he played at Division.
It looks like we're going to get a 4th down attempt, a run straight up the gut, and that'll be first down yardage for Stan Carone, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, using that big frame to pick up a big first down.
That's
ballsy
huge.
Call from Rob McNamara.
That's huge. That's a call of I believe in my quarterback. I like that. I like that in your own territory, believe in your own quarterback, to let him make that play.
And sets the tone for the season, right? Opening quarter.
Yeah, that's a lot of trust.
Stan Carone, little slip pass out, and Bonsignor doesn't have much room to go. Guess who's there? TJ Marr. He's been accompanied quite often by Jack Beatty as well. Another one of those sophomores. We keep going through for Southside. That sophomore class is amazing. And, you know, it's not random. Southside at one point was really struggling under Phil Inesto in the middle of this decade. And they said, you know what, the next step for this program, we have to start a unified youth program from the Pee Wee level to the middle school level to the JV level. They did that, and since then, to your point, Southside has just taken off as a program.
And that's the big thing I was saying earlier, to add on what I was saying earlier. That's what every program wants to build up. The Southside model is the way to do it. If you want to build a program, go look what they've done here. They built, basically, like, you know, the build the day will come. They did the Field of Dreams, if you build the day will come.
Yeah.
And they've made a program in the last 3 years that's been one of the best in Nassau County. And that they're well respected now. They're one of the top programs in Nassau 3. They're expecting to possibly compete for a county title. 10 years ago, this would have been impossible to think. But they've done it here. And that's the quarter.
Yeah, so we'll take a quick break on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and JP, let you finish the point when we come back.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
And we're
Second
back.
and 12 for Levittown. And Stan Carone will take a shot, has a man over the middle, a diving catch made. What a completion to his number one target, Bobby Simpson.
Remember what I said earlier, went up the middle. Southside wasn't expecting that one there. And that's a big play for Division. That's a momentum shifting play.
And a look at the replay. We've seen Division have their struggles trying to play side to side. To your point, JP, they said, let's just attack right down the heart of the defense. It's worked 2 plays in a row. Stan Carone scrambling under pressure, makes a man miss. And there you see the athleticism from Stan Carone. How did he get out of that one?
That's Houdini there. I mean, this guy's potentially a college quarterback. I mean, when I talk to a couple people that I know that are recruiting guys around the island, around the state, they think this kid could play college ball. They don't know where yet, but they think this kid is definitely a college quarterback, and he's showing to me tonight why people would see that.
So it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 33. A handoff to Pendergrass. Pendergrass will swallow a cyclone.
And they've got some momentum going. Remember I talked about big momentum. It's moving for Division side now.
And that should make it a 3rd and very short 3rd and 1 officially from the 29.
And this is a big 3rd and 1 for them here. You got to keep the momentum going. If you're Southside, you need to get a stop right here and force them to have to make the decision to go for it or not.
Excuse me, ball's on the 27. Give to Pendergrass. Pendergrass, that offensive line opening up a highway. And Pendergrass running the speed limit straight through it.
And that's big there. That is huge. Pendergrass. You talk about experience. He was up last year as a sophomore. This kid has a lot of experience, and he's just right now showing that with the IQ there on the play.
And we've talked a lot about the Southside offensive line, but how about Levittown picking things up? Southside's been winning that battle so far in this one, but Levittown finding an answer there. And that one incomplete to Simpson.
2nd down and 10.
And this is big here. I mean, this is really, really big, this drive here. You got to get points of your division. This is the best drive you've had in the game, and this is for the program here, a big push for the start of the season to set the tempo right here in the second.
2nd and 10, ball on the 15. As we mentioned, that Levittown offensive line right down the middle. Jeremy Taggart was the guy who blew it open on that big run. Now a little jet sweep, or rather it's faked. Instead, it'll be all Stan Carone for a couple of yards. And this is the pivotal play of this game so far. 3rd and about 7, I'd say, from the 12.
And this is going to be an interesting play call here. I would love to see what Coach McNamara, if he's going to trust his quarterback to potentially to do it himself, or is he going to give it to Pendergrass? I mean, look, he's really moving today. That's the big thing you got to look at.
So here we go. Stan Carone in the shotgun. Throws it over the middle, and he has a completion. That should be just enough for a first down for Ray Nicholson.
And that's a big. That's
or excuse
big.
me, just short of a first down for Ray Nicholson.
That's big here because now you gotta. Are they giving him the first?
Oh wow! Okay.
They're giving him the first.
You know what? I should never doubt my first instinct.
That's big there.
So Levittown looking to go fast. Stan Carone running right, has a lane and a touchdown for Levittown Division.
That's huge there. Stan, you got your quarterback to do it for you. He's got all the jitters out, learning a new offense. He's ready. He looks like he's ready.
And you're seeing a third-year starter, regardless of how new the offense is. The discipline to pause, wait a sec, follow his blocks right in, and it's easy when you have a giant of a man leading the way in Ethan Bonacci. Again, I'll keep saying this throughout the game, the 6'6", 320-pound senior. Those are numbers you hear at Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State. Not typically in Long Island high school football. They'll go for two. Stan Carone, the give, and drag down the backfield is Pendergrass. Again, they haven't had a lot of luck going side to side, so this game will remain 6-6.
And you know what? Like I said earlier, Division's doing their job right now. And that's a big deal here for both sides. If your Division are coming in, you got to do your job. You're doing everything right now to make this game winnable for you. You're coming in the underdog on paper. This is a 3 versus a 7. Division's doing everything they need right now to beat the 3, and they're impressive tonight.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. 6-6 to open this second quarter. Exciting opening game of Long Island high school football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy.
He's got. Oh, he's in.
Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Christopher Stan Carone buzzing in from 3 yards out the game. All tied up at 6. We were talking about how this Southside program got built, JP, and you got to give a lot of credit to Bill Lazito. He was the man who started that program in coordination with Phil Ernesto in 2016. His son Jack, who got the opening carry this one, a product of that youth program and one of its shining lights, and a reason that we keep saying it, the Southside sophomore class promises to be one of the best in school history, probably comparable to that 2019 group that made the county championship game.
And that's a big thing here, building a youth program. That's what every town that wants to have a program become competitive needs to do, is get a youth program. Southside built it from nothing. They had nothing here. They built it up, and look what it's done for the program. This is a testament to youth football and why it matters. Building up a program, building up the culture. Because if you want to have success at the high school level, you got to build it. You got to start young.
And it's something that at the Group 1 level, the top schools, it's inherent, right? It's been going on for 20, 30, 40 years in some cases. For these schools at times, like these coaches have come in, they said that infrastructure doesn't really exist, and it's such a daunting task. I know, talking to Rob McNamara before the game, he was saying it was frankly, it was kind of overwhelming last year having to deal with COVID and enforcing social distancing and film and monitoring every player, mentoring every player, making sure they didn't get sick, making sure everyone was safe, making sure everyone was playing the right amount. It's a daunting task to be a head coach at a high school level, as it's a daunting task to tackle Ryan Castle, but the ball got stripped out and it looked like Southside came up with it.
It might be, that's interesting there. There might be Division saying they got it.
Wow, a celebration coming out of the pile
Division
from
saying
Bobby
they have
Simpson would be another momentum
The ref
changer.
just signaled Division. Division recovered.
And this game turned, you noted it, JP, on that 4th down. Then the big pass down the field to Bobby Simpson, and now a fumble to cement that momentum.
And this is huge. This is huge. I mean, when you talk about,
9 minutes remaining in the half.
when I mentioned that Southside upset the Carey a few years back, that led to the building. This is starting to seem like a game for division tonight. That could be the beginning of something very bright of the future here at division. And for Southside, this is a test now. This is becoming a test.
Let's see it. Stan Carone to Pendergrass. Chugs a couple up the middle. Pendergrass, it was a pretty amazing transition. Both the star running backs in this game, him and TJ Marr, didn't play running back a season ago. Marr was a tight end. Pendergrass was a left guard. And it was a note from Rob McNamara. They just had a completely different offense a year ago. They needed him as a blocker more. This year could fully take advantage of his athleticism at running back.
And that's a big deal, moving guys around in high school football, especially the smaller schools, is a big deal. Like, I've heard stories about guys being moved from the line to the receiver, line to quarterback. Like Bethpage, I heard about 15 years ago, actually moved the lineman to quarterback.
Wow.
So they could just hand off the ball to run the wishbone.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of that. Like, it's not uncommon to hear at this level, where the smaller schools especially, when you only maybe have 30 guys, 40 guys on the roster, you're going to have flexibility. And if a guy's, let's say you have too many linemen, and you have the guy who's athletic enough, you might move him to another position.
So Stan Carone, they fake that jet sweep action. He'll try to go up Main Street and be denied after picking up 2, maybe 3 yards. Those linebackers from Southside really fly up with a lot of momentum, and they've given Stan Carone something to think about. That time it was Michael DeFrancisca, who's also the backup running back. You could see the speed and power on that hit.
I'm kind of calling that an RPO a little bit, because it looks like more of a run-pass option a little bit to me, because it looks like it's designed, but a little bit of like an RPO, where I'm going to kind of call it a design quarterback run there. Because that looked like he knew that was destined to be kept.
Stan Carone looking left, now throwing over the middle. He went back across his body belatedly. Patrick Mahomes-esque to find who else, Bobby Simpson, for his big third catch.
And like
again.
I said earlier, the middle. I was looking at I looked at Southside, and you see right there, I kind of was looking where Southside would be their weakest, the middle. And they're doing it right there. They're hitting him in their weak spot.
And how about the eye manipulation? Stan Carone was looking the complete opposite direction. This time, though, right when we sing his praises, a little short on the screen attempt that time to Bonsignor.
And it looks like they might be getting the other quarterback warmed up right in front of here, Southside. It looks like 10 is warming up at 4, so we'll see what they do next drive.
Well, both quarterbacks, so I guess we'll see which one comes out.
Yeah.
Stan Carone, the number 10 in white, the one that matters right now. Zipped the ball over the middle. It's caught. And down at the 1 is Bobby Simpson. To your point, JP, what do you when or what do you expect the adjustment to be? I know I'm throwing multiple questions your way.
Very easy. If I'm south side of the half, I'm probably going to move safety over there. I'm going to probably move a guy. I'm going
to hand off the opposite direction, and Pendergrass strolls on in for a touchdown. And just like that, the Division Dragons, a 12-6.
Southside's asking for a full. That was a full start there.
Well, and it looks like they might just get it. Yeah, nothing updated on the scoreboard yet. Nope, that was a penalty.
Yeah, they're placing. No, that's the touchdown. They're giving them.
Oh, so they will give it to Division. 12-6 advantage. With 6:50 to go in the second quarter. An extra point attempt this time around for Levittown, and the kick is blocked. Both sides
they're going to blow it dead there.
Trying out underclassmen kickers and not having ideal results, at least so far.
And you know what? We got ourselves a football game tonight.
12-6, the early lead for Division, trying to pull an upset on opening night here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back them back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Southside High School, where Gavin Shaw, alongside my guy JP, we potentially have an upset brewing here. Surprisingly enough, it's Division leading Southside 12-6. Southside, we mentioned, coming off that arduous season, in Conference 2, a quarterfinals loss to MacArthur. Not a typical amount of success for them, but they're so excited about this underclassmen group. Still trying to figure out a quarterback. And right now, Christopher Stancarone saying, you know what, I'm the best quarterback on the field. We might as well have the best team on the field. A 12-6 lead for division so far.
Get your popcorn ready because I think we got ourselves a game tonight.
Brady West nearly shaking a tackler.
And a fumble.
Just past the 30 now, I think.
They're rolling him down. They're rolling him down.
He was definitely down.
You got to wait a minute, you know. You always got to wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm learning my lesson. 6:24, so about halfway through quarter number 2. And we'll see who comes out there. It's still Owen West at quarterback for
That's very
Southside.
interesting. That's very interesting because I saw Castle and him warming up. There was maybe a thinking about maybe they want to spread him out a little bit if you're Southside and maybe go with the as I like to call it, the little bit of an air raid maybe style to try to put division off a little bit because you see how division they're playing 7 guys. They're playing, I believe it looks like the 7, maybe 8 even.
And it's worth noting, Brady West has yet to touch the ball offensively as far as I can recall. And so they'll give to TJ Marr here. It'll split left side and an excellent tackle in the backfield. Looked like Marr was going to pop out again, but just dragged down from behind.
It looks like division's playing 8-man in the box right now. So if you're Southside, you want to spread them out. And right now, that's the big thing here. When another adjustment here for halftime. Southside maybe wanting to spread them out a little bit because division's stacking the box because they're trying to put pressure on the quarterback and the run game, so they basically force them to pass right now. They basically want Southside the pass right now. It's what you're looking to make.
And typically that's what Southside would want to do, but again, the relative inexperience at quarterback. You have West, you have Castle, who's never started before either. They're keeping it a little conservative. Most of West's throws, he's been pretty accurate so far, but they've all been within 10, 15 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And that's a big deal here. All these short throws, they add up.
So West looking right side will throw a high screen. Marr, nice over the head catch, a stiff arm, and he'll go to the 35.
And now here on
the near sideline, Marr gets back to the line of scrimmage and a little more. Pick up on 4 yards on the play.
And here's the big third down here.
So it was officially a gain of 4, bring up a 3rd and 8 from the 35. And this will test Owen West a little bit. This is sort of the first gut check moment of his young varsity career.
And this is a big play. This is a big play of this game here because if you punt here, so let's say you don't get any, you have to punt. The way division's playing, I wouldn't want to give them the ball. So you're hoping you got to be converting. You got to let that offense on division cool off a little because they are on fire right now.
So West, 2 receivers on either side. Marr to his right. West will look right, throw right, has a man wide open and shaking a couple tacklers, dragging tacklers, beast mode style is Brady West, who finally gets a touch and shows off all that talent.
That's a man who likes football. That's a guy who really wants to play this game. And he's showing the toughness. Look, that's a Division I athlete right there. I believe he's going to Towson, I'm correct.
I think Loyola, but you got it right, Maryland school.
Yeah, wrong, right state, wrong school.
Yeah, geographically you're in the vicinity, but look, Brady West, a guy going back to his freshman season, got starts at the varsity level. They wanted him to get an ideal amount of reps, brought him back down to JV. Last year, felt as if, or rather as a sophomore, was one of the best receivers on that 2019 team. As a junior, felt he could have been one of the best receivers in Conference 2, but they had such a run-first offense, he didn't get to show it. And this year they expect him to be a star, as they expect of TJ Marr, who's going left to right. They normally tell you not to do that, but TJ Marr breaks all the rules and has the power to justify it, breaking tackles and getting near the 40.
When you're good, you get to break the rules, and TJ Marr is a very good ball player. And that's a big deal here for Southside. We figured out kind of, I think you're looking at here, we're trying to feel teams out. I think if you're Southside, you figured out who your 2 key guys are. You got to get the offense going. It's Brady West and TJ Marr. That's how this offense got to get going. If you want the rocket, if you're Southside, to get rocking and rolling, that's how you do it.
Marr, it was mentioned by Phil Anesto that he is the strongest guy pound for pound on this team. Brady West maybe would have something to say about it, but you certainly see the raw power. West rolling, short pass. Marr trying to shake a tackler, but it was not meant to be. What a fundamentally sound rip down from Ray Nicholson.
And we're about to hit the 2-minute mark here. And they call time. I believe somebody called the timeout here. Southside called the timeout here. And this is big here. We look at the clock. You're going to want to score for your Southside. Here's the thing. The clock now the clock is a little bit of your friend but an enemy. It's kind of like a frenemy.
A frenemy.
It's a frenemy.
Yeah,
I'm going to use the term frenemy here because it really is, because you don't want to give division time the way they're playing. But at the same time, you're running out of time to score. It's not like the NFL where you could do this in 2 minutes. In high school, it's a lot harder to get to do that. But with Southside's main game being speed, it's going to be key here to just get some speed here and try to get something on the board here in 2 minutes.
Well, we'll take a break and see what happens on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open is Perazi. He gets it. Perazi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown. Punch, counter punch.
The trickery, Ryder gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman.
What a catch! Just Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it! Touchdown! Touchdown East!
Welcome back to Southside High School, a crucial juncture of this game for the Cyclones, down by 6. Have the ball just past midfield, 2:06 to go until halftime, and we're going to get to see what the young quarterback Owen West is made of.
This is big here. This is where, but also remember they got to get Brady West going. They got to get TJ Marr going. That's the key to this offense here, because you can't ask the kid to do by himself here.
TJ Marr had that monster run to set up the initial touchdown. Owen West, though, going to put the ball in the air. Belated toss to his brother Brady, who shakes an initial tackler and goes down at the 30.
And that's big here, the west-to-west connection, where
West.
I was going to call it the West Coast offense for a second, but it seems like it a little bit with the West brothers being so much connected here. That's a key here for them. Just keep that connection going.
West, again, a top 100 lacrosse recruit nationally, but extremely committed to football, and a little bit of trickeration. It looked like Owen was going to run, and then a belated pass to Dan Fuentes, the senior, making his first catch of the game and sprinting down the field.
That's big there. You need a play like that. You need a play where you can kind of catch him a little bit off guard here. And to me, it looked like it kind of like a little trickery there, but I think he just saw an opening. He's like, you know what? I'll just throw it.
Fuentes, an interesting build. He's a 5'7" tight end, and that's because he's 190 pounds at 5'7", all muscle on Dan Fuentes, an absolute load to try and take down.
And that's tough. Like a guy like that built that's tough.
Phil Inesto saying on top of the youth program, really evolving the weight program is a big factor in this program, as Owen West needed the hand program that time, fumbling the snap and then getting ripped down for a sack in the backfield.
And that's that man, Ethan Bonacci. We talk about, and there's Southside called timeout. Well, that's a big man there. Look at 77. That's a guy who's going to play college football. I don't know where. He's another name I've heard thrown around. He will play somewhere on Saturdays, where it will be Division 1, 2, 3. Let's see, but to me, he looks like he's definitely going to be playing. Somebody's going to be wanting him to play for them.
Absolutely. I mean, at that size, it's just, again, not really normal in this area. So you can imagine a lot of local programs trying to get on Bonacci, a 2-year starter on varsity, playing on both sides of the ball. I mean, I keep saying it all drive, but again, a pivotal juncture for Owen West. One good play, one play that leaves you shaking your head a little bit. By and large, though, I think he's been studying. I don't think he's necessarily blamed for Southside's inconsistencies on offense so far.
I mean, it's week 1. So I tell people, it's week 1. Like, this is where you're feeling each other out. Both teams, the second half is really when this game begins to me. The game like this is when the second half is when it's game on. Because now that you've seen both teams, it's like, okay, what do we need to do? And I think both teams are going to make the adjustments. In the second half, it's going to be which team makes the right adjustments and which team is going to be able to have the will to win. And week 1, it's going to be the will to win in this game. Because both teams come out here, they're clashing.
It's been a competitive outing so far. We saw Division face a little bit of adversity in the early going, really struggling offensively. They made the shift schematically to attack the middle of the field. All of a sudden, everything started clicking. What's the adjustment for Southside here? We're about to find out with 94 seconds left in the half. 12-6 game. Owen West operating 1st and 10 from the 15. West rolling right under pressure, a throw high. And dragged down is Brady West. And I think that down signage was off, because he did just take the sack on the previous play, so it definitely wasn't first down.
3rd down now. It's a 3rd down coming.
So officially a 3rd and 6.
Clock is running, so Let's see, they're about to hit 1 minute, and they're going to go no huddle here, it looks like.
You see TJ Marr and Brady West, along with Dan Fuentes on that left side. Owen West rolls left, throws a short pass. Marr trying to bully tacklers to the first down. It takes 3 white jerseys, but he's dragged out of play. And presumably, we're going to see another one of those 4th down attempts from Southside.
That's a ball player there, TJ Moore. That guy loves the
Hard
game.
to tackle, right?
Like that, you can tell that guy loves the game. Some guys are going to go out. They're not going to want to take it. This guy taking the hits, and he wants the hits, it looks like.
He's sort of the inverse of Brady West, in that he's a very talented lacrosse player, but football, most certainly the -- sport. As we see Southside take their final timeout. What are we expecting here, JP, on this 4th and 5 from the 8?
There are 2 philosophies of thought here. Do you go for the end zone because you're so close? Or do you just go for the first down here? Do you try to get yourself 4 more downs and burn the clock here? Because the benefit for Southside here is no matter what happens, you're forcing the division to have to go all the way down the field in 50 seconds. That's the benefit here. It allows you potentially to have to make big plays, so maybe you can get a turnover. That's a big deal here. It's going to be the play call here is going to be either go for the end zone or go for the first. I don't know which one I choose because you look at it, it's only in maybe another 3-yard difference. So we'll see here what they do because the time could play into it.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like we've seen Phil Inesto really try and make the game as easy as possible for Owen West. Simple reads, half-field reads, rolling to his left, rolling to his right, little trickeration to get someone open down the middle. This feels like the type of play where you take the training wheels off and you say, you know what, man, we're going to spread it both sides. You could throw it either way. You just got to go figure this out.
Maybe. I mean, I'm looking at what they're coming out with. To me, it seems like they're going to probably go with what they know, which is going to be probably going to be the spread to the right. It looks like they're going to the near side here.
And set up on the left hash. Owen West rolling right, under pressure, escapes the sack initially, but will not escape the second attempt. The waiting arms of Jack Pendergrass, who has struggled so far in this game offensively, but comes up with a big 4th down sack to keep Southside off the board here. And we'll get another look. That was just immediate pressure, a breakdown from that Southside offensive line that we noted is starting 2 sophomores tonight. A little bit of a rude awakening to have to go against Pendergrass and Bonacci in their first game.
I'm gonna quote an old quote I saw, and everybody's gonna get baptized at some time. You know, everybody's gonna have their trial by fire.
Yeah.
This Southside defense is getting it. This Southside offensive line is getting it tonight, and Division's defense is giving it to them.
So an impressive run for Division is they'll look to push the ball down the field, maybe tack on some more points. High throw to Seamson, who goes down quickly. I don't know if we've talked enough about Bobby Seamson. Maybe the MVP of this offense, as good as Stan Carone has been. Seamson, a guy who had over 600 yards last season, picking up right where he left off.
And that's a big deal for Division here. You have guys that know the game, and they love the game here, and they're showing it, and they're playing tough. So with the timeout call, I mean, you right now got 36 seconds to try to get something here. And I know Robert Paul, I know McNamara, they're going to be coming. I think they're going to have something cooked up for this one. Maybe some tomfoolery of some type. So we'll see. But I'm interested to see the play call they're going to make, because they're going to probably try to make one more play and then set up for that play they're going to want to do, which is going to be probably, maybe we'll see a hook and line or sometime. Maybe we'll see like a Statue of Liberty, something along those lines. Maybe a double pass. I mean, I won't be stunned if we see some tomfoolery. That's the thing. No one for Paul, no one Seaford, no one the tricks he had in the bag over the years.
I love that tomfoolery has made its way onto the broadcast. Everyone can check that off their bingo boards.
Yeah, I love using that term.
And it's an amazing word. It sounds exactly like what it means. Anywho, to your point, Ron Paul, the former Seaford and Limburg head coach, just retired from Seaford a year ago. Legendary career there. Even towards the end of his career, it wasn't a situation where they're like, all right, get the older guy out. He was still incredible.
Oh, and he retired, and they wanted him back. He tried to leave a few years back, and they said that, and they brought him back.
And I assume I can't say that was something that we talked to Rob McNamara about, but just perhaps wanted a little bit of a smaller role this season, not having to have the full responsibility of running a program. We saw it a lot in professional sports and college sports. coaches that just were exhausted after that COVID year, and it was draining. I mean, Rob McNamara, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, second-year head coach, he was saying that it was absolutely, I mean, for everyone, a little bit overwhelming a season ago. So for Paul, stepping in and being a big help with this program. They also have Pat Nolan, you told me this, JP, the former Massapequa coach, as Stan Carone looks down the field. That one, a dangerous attempt, didn't really have a man, just wanted to avoid the sack, though. I bet Rob McNamara clenching a little bit. You don't love your quarterback just throwing that one up for grabs.
But you know what, look, you're going to have one play. It could be fourth down. You know what? I would go for it here. You know, and it's in there looking to punt. I would love to see a fake punting or something. Try something, you know.
Yeah.
Your quarterback's your punter. I would love to see them try something.
I guess the fear, just 10.5 seconds on that clock. You don't want to accidentally give it back with just a few left. But you know what? With Rob Perpall, you never really know.
I think they're going to take some time to look at this. I think they might take my advice.
All right, well, we'll take some time with them on the Varsity Media Sports Network final 10 seconds of the half when we come back.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
So it will be a punt for division. Brady West, TJ Marr back to receive. That one will dribble to midfield, taken by West, who goes down at the 45.
And they're going to get one play here. I'm going to assume Hail Mary.
Now we'll bring up the end of the first half.
Wait, they're going to call it.
I think the clock kept running. So that's how half number one will end. A little bit of a surprise. The road team, the Division Dragons, the underdog, coming in a 12-6 lead over the Southside Cyclones. We'll take a break for half, but we'll come back for a ceremony honoring the county champion 2001 Southside team. That next on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, where, again, we have a thrilling second week of games here. Garden City against Baldwin tomorrow. JP, you know that's going to be an interesting one.
And we're going. This is a big game for both teams. Baldwin comes down from Conference 1 with a new coach, new life. Frank Chimenti, the former Thousand Central coach, comes in, returns to the high school level. And you got Garden City. They're going for history. No team in Nassau County has won 6 straight county titles since the modern era began in 1984. This is a huge game for them as they start that push for history. And, you know, it's impressive. They've won 5. They've done it. There's only 3 teams in Nassau since 84 they've done it. They've won 5. Garden City's done it twice now. Hempstead did it as well. Back when Bobby Krumanacher, the former Buddy Krumanacher, the former Hempstead coach, who's now the Farmingdale coach, was there at Hempstead at the time. So there is history here possibly this year, and it's awesome to watch the push that's never been done before. Shoreham almost did it out in Suffolk. If they won 6 and 7. So nobody's ever won 6 straight, and that's a big deal in Nassau to see that. Like, no, in recent history, the dominance like this is unbelievable.
Do you think there's a team that can take them down this year? I know MacArthur the last 2 years
Yeah,
has sort of been the thorn in their side, but they're not able to pull it together at the county championship.
I heard they have almost the whole team back from last year, numbers-wise. 45 guys I've heard are back.
Wow.
So, I mean, if that's true, I mean, I don't know. I've not gotten to see the roster, but when you're hearing from people that possibility of numbers like that, it's interesting. And that's the big deal here when you talk about Garden City. The fact that everyone thinks they're a league of their own. Southside came from that league, where everyone said it's Garden City versus the Pack. This year especially is a big deal because this is the year where, for the first time in a long time, they're going for pure history here. What we've never seen. Like, they're doing something that can never be done before. And Garden City's done a lot of things. They tied the Long Island record. They've tied the Long Island record for wins in a row. They lost that to MacArthur. Will MacArthur be able to stand in their way again from history? Because MacArthur, they beat MacArthur back in 19.
Yeah, Hugh Kelleher led MacArthur.
The Hugh Kelleher game, they would have had the longest win streak in Nassau County in Long Island history. And they may still be undefeated to this day.
All right, so now we're getting a look at a historically great Southside team, the 20th anniversary of the team that won it all in 2001, led by Walter Denton. They went 7-1 last season. Defeated Lawrence 54-34 for their first county championship since 1979. This is a Southside program that was dominant throughout the 1970s, had a bit of a lull, but then came back, and actually Phil Onesto was on some of those teams in the late 90s, early 2000s, JP, and this is one of those great teams from that era.
And the glory, like he saw, this is why when I say you would build a program, you got to get somebody in who was there at the top, who has passion for the program, and Phil has that.
And we're getting a look on the field as we get a chance to, again, appreciate about 20 players of the 32 that were on that team, smaller rosters back then, that won it all. Walter Denton down there as well.
Yes, Coach Denton's down there a minute. It's nice to see this, you know. We take this in a moment. I want to let everybody take this in.
Yeah.
This is a great day for the community here to honor one of the great teams in recent history for them.
And how cool must it be for those guys? A lot of them, you're seeing them all on the field, like younger kids, all the same age. Probably, I mean, some still local, some spread out throughout the country. I mean, after what a brutal year this was for everyone, to have a chance to come back together and celebrate that magical season 2 decades ago, and a little bit of a bright spin on I mean, as much as you can do it. On 2001, we had the ceremony to honor the horrible tragedy of 9/11 that year. But now you're getting the flip side, something amazing that happened in this community in that same span of time.
And for this community, they could also use this as a look to the future for these younger guys here today, playing today, and also the youth program. Look, this is what the goal is, to be 20 years from now, to be in the same field again.
That's a great point.
Captain Anthony Bruno. Jack Cameretta. Freddie Carey. The late Brian Daniels. Robin Daniels. Aronson Duran.
And I'll give a little fun fact here from the Southside team in 01. They had one of the leading rushers and one of the best rushing performances in Nassau County history was by the late Brian Daniels. And he, in that game against Lawrence, that year against Lawrence, he had one of the most amazing performances. I'm going to actually pull it up right now, the records for you. Because I remember reading about this. I remember looking this up personally.
JP, I gotta say, this is next level preparation, man. This is good stuff.
Because I was reading the old Newsday article from that year, and it was very neat to read about the Southside program. And now as you look to the future, but when Brian Daniels that day, he rushed for, in that game, 397 yards. He had the Nassau County record.
Wow.
That was broken by Davian Quinlan back in 2015. So that he had a record that stood for a very long time.
Yeah, 14 years.
Southside Cyclones head coach and captain, Phil Onesto.
And
Captain Michael Paulson.
Yeah, so you're hearing Phil Onesto, current head coach, was a captain on that 2001 team.
Mike Romestello. Camille Sareen.
Onesto, and interesting career, and I mean, he grew up in this area and was just a very similar story to Rob McNamara, just a part of the community his entire life. And you got to figure that, how cool would that be to grow up to be the high school football head coach in your hometown? I mean, that just has to be the dream for so many of these guys, and to actually get to achieve it, and now, to your point, bring the program near these old heights, pretty amazing.
I mean, I could only imagine what that'd be like. I mean, for me, if I ever got the opportunity to do that, would be awesome. And I know, like, it's a lot of pressure, too, when you come in as a former player. There's a lot of pressure on yourself. There's a lot of pressure on basically your whole staff as you bring in a lot of alumni to make sure you have guys that know and make sure you have everything in place to make it successful, because you don't want to fail. And that's the thing with Ernesto here, with Coach Ernesto. What he's done is a great accomplishment. And the fact that you can look, and this is possible again to see this, and you see when they're showing the team here, like the possibility that Southside can have more home races like this 20 years from now because of what Coach Ernesto did and the legacy of what he'll leave here when he's done coaching, let's say in 20, 30 years from now. What he's built here is unbelievable, and you look at the inspiration for it, he knows what it takes. And that's a big thing here when you talk about, we were talking about division earlier, and so many other programs that want to build. They have the blueprint.
What a moment. Well, we'll take a break on the Varsity Media Sports Network and come back for half number 2, the 2001 team that won the county championship, getting a great send-off and celebration of what they accomplished.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang. McKee, first down and more. Charlie McKee. Touchdown, Oceanside.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside!
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Half number 2 about to get underway on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A 12-6 lead heading into the third quarter for Division over the Southside Cyclones. Once again, I'm Gavin Shaw with you, joined by JP Cheselwitz. JP, a fascinating first half. We saw Southside get off to the start we all expected. And from that point forward, it was all division.
But all I'm going to say is get your popcorn ready, get some soda, and if you're on the couch, get ready to stay there. I think we got a good one here tonight, and this is a surprise here. I mean, you look at division; they're playing. What I talked about early in the game with doing what you need to do to this point in the game. The game starts now. Both teams are going to have adjustments made. Now we're going to see who's the better team because now division has 6-point advantage. So we'll see how long that holds, but it's going to be interesting to watch here the first drives now that both teams have will make adjustments. It's week 1, so this is really where the game begins.
And worth noting, division getting the ball coming out of half. We talked about it a couple different times, having a lot of success attacking the middle of the field. You said it in the first, JP. Maybe that's Brady West territory to try and sweep that up.
And here's the interesting thing. Right now, you have 2 quarterbacks to your south side. I'm just going to be curious to see if they go with maybe another quarterback here. Maybe they go, or they still stick with West, because it really matters by do you like what you see, and if so, do you want to go with the guy? That's how you really make the decision here. I mean, or you could potentially decide, hey, we're just going to focus, we're going to just try to get those guys, Mayer and West, warmed up. So there are many things you can do right now, but the biggest thing is going to be for them is to get momentum and get moving early on offense. For the south side. And a big stop on defense here.
It's interesting to evaluate Owen West's varsity debut in that first half because he wasn't necessarily asked to do too much. We said it, a lot of simple reads, a lot of half-field reads, I should say, and pretty short, measured throws where it seemed like he just had to hit his initial target. And by and large, he did that job very well. A little late maybe on that 1 3rd down where he got sacked, but other than that, accurate, got the ball out quickly. Does Phil Ernesto expand the playbook for Owen West, assuming he is the quarterback in half number 2?
Maybe. This is the big thing. You got to see the adjustments. If you think you can expand it because something may work, you do. You're not going to expand it because. You're going to expand it because you think, just because for the sake of it. You're going to expand it because you think it's going to help you work.
And we mentioned Ryan Castle having that awesome deep ball. And excuse me, it'll be Southside ball to start the second half. I misremembered that.
And look.
So we'll get to see right away who that quarterback is.
Flip what I just said. Just change the teams.
Yeah.
For this case with division, your defense needs to keep the momentum. I mean, they've been getting in there. So let's keep that pressure going. Make the sophomore think. Because here's the thing. You got to check if it's West out there, make him think. And if it's Castle, don't let him get hot. That's the thing. You can't let a new guy come in and get momentum. So this is a big, I'd say this is a big choice for Coach Ernesto to make here. Do you go with Castle or do you go with West right now? Do you like what you see at West or do you want to give the veteran a chance here? That's the interesting choice here, and I'm very curious to see who they go with.
And perhaps just as big of a factor, can they reignite TJ Marr and that running game? You know, Phil Nesto told us pregame, this is probably the strongest team physically that they've ever had. They want to be able to run the ball. Again, they love those 2 sophomore offensive linemen that they have that are both first-year starters on the varsity level. Jack Beatty, Bobby Galindo, so much confident in those guys to the point that they've even outshone players in preseason camp like Killian Hansman and Andrew Fingleton, both of whom have college potential. New center Matt Deveras had his moments in the first half, and yet by and large, we've seen the division defensive line dictate the terms of this game. Outside of that one massive TJ Marr run, it's mostly been self-created for Marr. It's not like he's had big lanes play after play after play. So, JP, I think that's a fascinating battle as well as we move into the second half, maybe even more important than the quarterback.
And that's a big deal here. It's going to be, you know, they say defense wins championships. So for division, defense is going to win this game. That's your route to beating a team that, on paper, has more firepower, more overall, more numbers, more firepower, more talent on paper. Division's going to have to beat them with defense. And right now they're doing the playbook to do it.
Second half about to get underway here at Southside High School. One of the most beautiful, well-built fields you'll see on the island. And we'll see if Southside can build some momentum on it.
Here we go. Get that popcorn ready and don't move a muscle. We got ourselves a good one here.
Back to return for Southside, Jack Roberts, TJ Marr. Let's get into it. Half number 2 on its way.
Kick is on its way,
and Brady West.
Oh
wow. Brady West hesitated and got it, but it's almost like he didn't realize that he had to pick up the ball.
Yeah, that's a live ball. That's a live ball. I was looking like, oh.
He sort of paused for a sec, like, am I supposed to grab that? When you talk about first game, sort of reacclimating, those are the little brain farts that you'll get.
I mean, I'm reacclimated too, so I understand. It's like, it's tough. I mean, it's the first game. It's the first normal game you've had in over 2 years. So it's kind of like you're reacclimating right now. In almost 2 years, you haven't had a normal football environment where you've had practice and everything, like the normal amount of scrimmages.
So it looks like Owen West is still the quarterback for Southside. We'll see what the sophomore can do. 2 running backs. We saw Jack Lazito get the opening carry of this game, had a nice game, and then only touched it one other time after that. And they'll give it to Lazito here. Lazito trying to dance, cuts behind a lineman, and now gets sandwiched between 2 Dragons.
And he's the son of Bob Lazito, who started the youth program here. So, like we mentioned, youth program earlier. Good.
No gain on the play.
Lazito, as dynamic as he is at running back, perhaps an even better talent at corner. It was a funny quote from Phil Nesto. He said, you know, I might have lied a little bit on the roster listing Jack Lazito at 5'7". He said he's probably closer to 5'5" or 5'6". But that being said, the kid is glue. He will incessantly stick to the opposition's top target, showed off that talent in 7-on-7s over the summer, earned the right to be Southside's #1 corner coming to this year, and he stays in at running back here. Carry right up the middle, or excuse me, no, that was Lazito, and he'll get stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
And this is for division. This is the playbook to beat a team when you're coming in the underdog. Is use your strength, and they're using that strength of defense. Division this year, if I've learned anything tonight, it's going to be this. Division's defense is going to be a force to be reckoned with. No matter who they play, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And Southside's got 2 very good players right now that they got to get warmed up. And this is huge here on 3rd down. You got to get to one of them and hope one of them can break one.
Officially a 3rd and 10 on their own 20. Time for Owen West to make a play. Looking right side, lofts the ball high up the sideline, nearly a diving catch. I thought he was throwing that ball up for grabs, but it was near perfect placement. And just unable to come down with it was his older brother, Brady.
And that's big here for division. You got the 3 and out you needed.
What a throw by West.
Wow.
You don't love that he's going into double coverage, but it was picture perfect.
You know what? I give him credit for having the guts to take it. He trusts his guy. That's a big thing here. You trust his guy. But you know what? look, if you're division, you're doing everything you need to do. If you're Southside, got to hope the defense can stop them. That's the big thing here is you're going to need a defensive stop coming right out of the gate.
Back to receive for the Dragons, number 13, Bobby.
Be Ryan Castle, the backup quarterback, to punt it. Good grab, high arching kick. Will they get a bounce on it? That's the question. No, it'll die just inside the 45.
Yeah,
so
at the 45.
Favorable field position for division.
This has been a game of short field. That's the thing. Both teams have been playing short field, basically. Only one drive across the field all game today. So, and that's a big thing here. Is now for Southside is defense. You're going to have to win this game defensively. If you're Southside, you got to do division win the game defensively now. So your playbook has to be make sure that nobody up the middle. You can't let anything up the middle here.
Christopher Stan Carone instead will run right side, have a solid lane, and get about 4 or 5 yards. He's a better passer, but this is an obscure name to pull up. Almost reminds me of former Kansas State quarterback Colin Klein.
He's
tall, and he's
very
strong,
good.
And it feels like guys just sort of bounce off him a little bit.
And Colin Klein was a big dude. I think he was like 6'5". He played tight end, I think, in the NFL a little bit.
So maybe you converted to Long Island high school
but
football.
you know what?
6'1"
Great
equals
analogy.
6'5".
You know, that's a great analogy there because the style of play. Because I remember watching those Kansas State teams. Those Kansas State teams were tough because of the way he played. And he's making this team better by the way he plays.
And it makes your running game that much better because all those read options, you have to respect the quarterback. And that time, Jack Pendergrass finding a little bit of daylight. We didn't necessarily see that in the first half where Pendergrass was by and large stood up, but that big offensive lineman, you know this, JP, you played on the lines. It's a little bit harder in that second half to stand up to them.
Oh, yeah. That was the big thing is like when I played, it was just too tough doing that. Like you can get worn out.
And Pendergrass right side now, a little bit more bully ball as they picked up the first down. Last play will get nearly halfway to another one here. Pendergrass, a bigger guy, just a junior, but already 6'1", 220 pounds. We were talking to the Southside team about their collective strength. Levittown matching them blow for blow in this one. Stan Carone, high archer. Oh, and what a tackle that time. Through traffic, to beat the blocker and take down the ball by Jack Lazito, again at 5'6", showing off that physicality.
But you saw him there, it was like, oh man. I mean, Bunsen yours like, man, I could have had that one. He saw me coming up, he was like, oh. Because he saw that window. I mean, that could have been potentially a touchdown.
That's so painful, whether it's a drop or you can't beat your guy as a wide receiver, knowing you were 1 inch away from 30 and you only get 1.
Yeah.
Stan Carone fakes it this time. Quarterback keeper escaping left side. And he'll get about halfway to the first down.
And it's very interesting watching this right now. Very interesting watching Southside defense compared to Division's defense right here. I'm going to make a little comparison here. You could tell right now the size, how Division size is just having an advantage.
Oh, wait, so here we go, JP. 4th down. And a give inside to Pendergrass. Pendergrass will rumble. I believe that was enough for a first.
And that's a big thing here. Like, look at the size of the line difference here. Just look at the size. Division's controlling the game on the line of scrimmage, and that's why they're winning right now. This is clearly being won for them by the line of scrimmage.
And it's not just Ethan Bonacci. You saw the interior of the line that time. The brothers Bodkin, Tyler and Matthew, 6'3", 255, 6'2", 245, respectively. And again, they go right up the middle of that offensive line. You look at the weights, 315, 245, 255, 320. It feels like a college line. That's the strength of this division program as they rebuild. And for Rob Purple, it has to be a little bit of comfort. It feels like old Seaford offensive line. They just destroy people.
He's got a Seaford offensive line to work with. I mean, that's a plus when you go from one place to the other.
Stan Carone will lob it up left side of the field and a little bit too tall that time for Ray Nicholson. But you enjoy the play calling from Rob McNamara. You punch him in the mouth time and time again with a run up the middle. Try and take a shot down that left sideline.
I like it because some coaches will be a little more conservative right now. I like that McNamara's one to let his quarterback go for it. Let him show off his ability. I mean, he wants to play at the college level. A game like this is going to help him show that he can play. To college coaches who may be like, there's so many other guys around there. Why should we take this kid? He's showing it today to me.
Stan Carone looking right side, rips the ball. Simpson, what a grab. No use of the body. That's all Stickham. What What a game for Bobby Simpson, a star a year ago. Let's look at it again. Simpson, his head coach Rob McNamara is saying he has a knack for finding open spaces.
They get
You
it,
see
and
right
they're in there.
And now Stan Carone punches it home. Another one for Levittown Division.
This is now. Get the alarm bells going. This is upset alert time here. We got the sirens going now. I mean, this is big. I mean, 2 touchdown lead.
Touchdown by the
Ooh.
Dragons.
Chance to extend it
Wow.
to a 14-point advantage with a 2-point conversion here.
On the quarterback keeper.
Stan Carone punching it in from 2 out. A diamond formation now for Division. The give to Pendergrass trying to win, and he will not to the right side.
Here's an interesting thing for you here. Extra points are going to play in this game here. If Southside can get 2 touchdowns at the extra point, both extra points, you're winning.
Or just one.
It's an 18. And
18-6.
So 6:55 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Shockingly, a 12-point lead for Division.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
14 in the lead. And
We're back to it on the Varsity Media Sports Network. 6:55 to go in quarter number 3. Division up 18-6 on Southside, and another impressive drive for not only Stan Carone, but how about Bobby Simpson, man? Unsung hero of this game. I'm going to keep singing his praises. Catch after catch after catch, and they can't cover him right now.
And if you're Southside, you're thinking about it like this: 7 points at a time now. Whereas Division's putting up points, you got to get this touchdown here. But Simpson's having an unbelievable game, and the quarterback by himself, Stan Carone, is having a game where I think college coaches are going to be looking at with interest.
Brandon Galarza, high arcing kick will leave room for a Southside return. It looked like there was a gap there for a moment for Brady West, but couldn't quite snake through it. So decent starting field position for Southside as they'll get their second chance of this second half. The first one ended when Owen West couldn't connect with his older brother down that right sideline. An ambitious throw, though. Perhaps you can argue, even though it was incomplete, I would say it was the best throw of the night for Owen West.
And they're leaving him out there. I mean, that's a big thing here. They're keeping him out there, even though they have the more experienced Castle right behind him. I like that they're trusting him here. He's showing a lot. Let him go.
And you get the feeling Owen West, perhaps the quarterback of the future for this Southside program.
Like I said earlier, everybody's got to get baptized sometime.
Yeah, and it's always a conversation when you're a coach. Do you reward the experience, or do you play perhaps a more talented younger guy? I'm not sure if that's the case in this situation, but they are going with Owen West as Lazito scampers and shimmies his way for about 5.
And they just got to get moving. Like, that's the thing here. You just got to get moving. Where little by little, just keep the ball moving. Just keep the ball moving. Get a touchdown. Don't think about this like 14 you're in the lead. 7 at a time. 7 at a time. 7 stop. 7 stop. That's how you got to be thinking of your Southside right now.
So just a little over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. To your point, JP, more than enough time.
I mean, look, all you need is one big play here. One big play flips the game right into a different spot.
They got it on the run with TJ Marr. Haven't been able to find it in the passing game. We saw last drive that Owen West certainly has the arm for it. They might be looking for that big play here. 3 receivers left, 1 right. West looking left, under a bit of pressure, feeling it out, now looking to throw late, does over the middle, and it's nearly picked. That was dangerous, and inches away from an interception was Joseph Bonsignor.
And that could have been big there for Division. That could have been like potentially a big, making the mountain a little higher to climb for Southside. But it's interesting here when you look at Southside. This third down is huge. And I've been saying this all game. This is now huge for you because you can't let division get the ball. They're just too hot right now. You gotta let that offense cool off a little bit. Like you gotta have a good drive, force the defense to be out there, their defense to be out there, allow like your defense to rest, and want their offense to cool so you can go out with all you got.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of TJ Marr in this second half. I'm interested to see if they start incorporating him in the run game a little bit more. You see how versatile Marr is in the backfield on one side of the formation and the other side of the formation. So now 4 receivers to that right side. Interesting look. It's a little screen pass to who else? Marr, a burst of speed will get the first down and more as he's dragged down near midfield.
Remember I was saying, you got to get that man. You got to get that man going. There's TJ Marr there to get him going again. You got to feed the guy. You got to feed him and let him get going. And you see right there, just really good seeing the play there for West. Really good seeing him open, making sure you design that play there. The biggest thing here is going to be for him, just keep going, keep giving it to him. Like whatever works for your quarterback. You can't worry about right now schematics. Throw it out the window. It's what is working and what's not working.
A creative look that time from Phil Nesto. 4 receivers stacked on the short side and worked for them. Now a give up the middle, shaking tacklers. I believe that was Matt Solano that time. The second-string running back. So a year ago, he was actually the primary backup on this team. Obviously, they moved over TJ Marr to be the starting running back this year and replace their star at that position from a season ago, who basically was the sun and the moon and the sky, was Matt Melconi, and did everything for this outside team. TJ Marr stepped into that role, and now his younger brother getting an opportunity to shine. We'll take a quick break on the Varsity Media Sports Network with 2:24 to go in quarter number 3.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazi, he gets it, Perazi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, counter punch.
The Frickery Rider gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman.
What a catch! This Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino, see you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith, why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, we saw backup running back Matt Solano go down for Southside, though walked off the field with a smile on his face. Hope he's all right, and this will help. Jack Lizito bursting into free space. How do you get past another defender? Lizito, it's like he has boosters attached to his shoes, finding an extra gear. Wow.
It must be the shoes. I mean, Darren Sproles right there. Little vintage right there, like Darren Sproles. Perfect comparison that Coach gave me.
I was going to say, Phil Nesto made that comparison. I didn't fully understand it until that play. You know, JP, it's sort of cute to compare every small running back to Darren Sproles. Very few or even relative to their level of play at that level. We saw what makes Jack Lizito special on that run.
And you know what? You know what they say? Speed is big. Speed matters.
Speed kills.
And speed kills. And right there, Speed's hurt in division.
1st and 10 from the 18. A timeout taken by Division. We'll take a break with them. Cyclones threatening, trying to make it a one-score game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, a great night of football, but just the start of this amazing weekend of football on the Varsity Media Sports Network we've already mentioned to you, but we're going to remind you as many times as we possibly can. Garden City against Baldwin. You mentioned, JP, that Garden City dynasty going up against the Baldwin team that dropped down a conference this year. Exciting matchup. Maybe a little bit of a challenge for Garden City.
Garden City led by Jack S. Cannon, one of the best players on Long Island. They got a guy who, on a given day, can do anything. This guy's like Superman.
So 2 backs around Owen West. The give is to Lozito. Lozito squirts through traffic, but taken down by his own offensive lineman. And hope Lozito is all right. Looked like he banged ankles, but yeah, he walks out of that just fine.
And that's a big deal here for Southside's size. You got to take advantage right now of his size. Because look, he can go through things that bigger backs hit. That's the big thing here. His speed is an advantage right now because you need to play the speed against a larger division team. So that's Southside's playing to his strength right now, putting Lozito in.
Gorgeous sunset here at Southside High School, Nassau County, Long Island. This is what you wait all year for. These moments, late summer, early fall.
And to get a game like this too. Think about it. Get a game as good as this week 1 is impressive. I'm lucky. I'm happy to call
So again,
this.
backs on either side, and Owen West goes straight down. Never had a chance. Pressure up the A-gap, and combining on the sack. That time on Southside, it was Jack Pendergrass and Hunter Stimmick.
And that's big because now it's third in the mile. We'll say here, third in the country mile. I mean, this is big here. That was a huge momentum shifting play on defense by Division. Southside's got to respond here on third.
And those are interesting plays when you go back and look at them on film. Is that on Owen West for not trying to set up an extra blocker there up the middle and not recognizing the blitz? Or is that on the offensive line?
Look,
he gets through in a second.
It's week 1. It happens.
Yeah.
Timeout.
We'll take a break with it. Big third down, perhaps a game-defining one coming up for the Cyclones. 3rd and 15 on their own 23 when we come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Fourth quarter about to get underway on the Varsity Media Sports Network. An 18-6 lead for Division over Southside. Just the one touchdown in the third. The only time Division got the ball, they were able to punch it in for a 12-point advantage. And we'll see if Southside can find an answer. Some moments of brilliance from Owen West. His running game, JP, on this drive finally getting going courtesy of Jack Lozito. But you got to figure at some point they're going to re-involve TJ Marr maybe on this play. They've run a number of creative screens, and we could see him get some action on them. They use him at running back, at wide receiver, at tight end. A lot of multiplicity in this offense.
I mean, it's third in the country mile here. You got to do something here. You got to get points. That's the thing. You got to keep this drive alive. You got to get points. Can't go backwards. You got to only go forwards here. No loss yardage here because you don't want to have to give Division the ball the way they're playing today.
The number one target is Brady West. We've seen Owen look for him on and on as this game gets going. He bounces out to the right side in the slot, showing pressure up the middle again.
And I think
that's an offside. Yeah, a little encroachment there. As Owen West, a good little bit of patience and adjustment from him. He'd been sort of surprised, seemingly, by that pressure initially.
Hold on a minute
well,
here.
let me not give him credit.
They're
Looks
going
like it's
backwards.
back.
Like I said, you can't let things go backwards here. I mean, that's a big deal.
And again, it sort of feels as if the right side of that offensive line, you got to remember, that's where the two sophomores are. And that's where we're seeing some of that pressure up the middle and up that side. That time, getting one of those two underclassmen to jump. And you love that little bit of strategy from Rob McNamara, taking advantage of the youth, even if it's really talented youth for Southside, and forcing it back another 5 yards. It's now 3rd and 20. Ball in the 28, so we're going to need to see something here from Owen West and company.
It's now 3rd of the couple country miles. I mean, wow.
Again, we're seeing pressure right up the middle. West rolls out, chucks it, has his brother wide open, Brady. And that should be a first down as he drags defenders inside the 5.
Like I said, big plays here. You got to keep the drive alive. You got to get points. If you want to win this game now, you're Southside. The clock is now your enemy. It's not your friend anymore. It's not a friend of me. It's now your enemy. You got to move quick. You got to get big plays, and that's a big play there by West.
And here's the thing. You'll see it on this replay. That was not a first down without the extra effort from Brady West to drag those two defenders past the 5-yard marker.
Well, Brady got a bunch of yards there for him and it helped.
And how about the poise from Owen? We got to give him a lot of credit. Watch the blitz. They got it blocked up that time and got it down the field. Owen West, the handoff. TJ Marr caught up in the backfield and shot down.
And there was no chance that they just were like, wham, right through. It was like instant there.
Knifing in was Nicholas Rivera.
And look at the size difference I've been talking about. Division is beating them in the trenches. This is the big deal here.
And to your point, it's that fatigue, because that battle was very even in the first quarter. It has not been since then.
The interesting thing is going to be with Division having a small roster, do these guys start getting tired, and do they have enough subs to come in that can keep up that level? That's going to be the question as this game keeps going on.
So 2nd and 10 from the 10 West. A spin move to stay alive. Can he shake another tackler? No, he's going to go down. It was a second effort defensively for Division. And Ray Nicholson, a name we've said a whole lot, playing a big game at linebacker, getting the sack.
And right there, you got to ask for another 3rd down play here. You got to ask for another big 3rd down play here. It's 3rd and goal. I mean, you got to get something here.
Right around 10 minutes.
But I really give Coach Ernesto credit for letting his quarterback play here, letting him get the trial by fire. Even though you have a veteran on his heels who has experience, I like that he's letting this kid have these moments.
And it's nice to see with TJ Marr split out. Matt Solano, we saw get injured down for a while, back in at running back.
And here we go. It's a big 3rd down here.
West, again, pressure up the middle, throw left side, and dispossessed. What a play defensively, the PBU that time around from Joseph Bonsignor. I'd love another look at that. That was well-timed. He waited until the ball got there, just stuck his hand in and dispossessed the wide receiver.
I'm just watching it. It's amazing the quality of play by both sides right now. Both divisions giving Southside everything they got, and Southside's giving Division everything they got right now. The question is what's going to give here? This is a big play.
And Southside, this is within the range of their kicker, Nick.
You're not. I don't think you go for the kicker.
I had to get that name out.
I don't think you go for the kicker.
No, they're not going to.
You got to get the touchdown. It's like a kick.
To your point, what's the utility of a kick? It gets you within 9 points. You're not going to have 3 more possessions in this game.
Yeah, you have to. It's all or nothing now. I mean, at this point, it's score or else if you want to win this game, and that's what it is.
So we'll see it here. Owen West bobbled the snap. West under pressure, has to just throw it up. No receiver in the area. The pass rush gets home yet again for Levittown. A common theme, Jeremy Taggart, the converted tight end, applying the heat there.
And you know what? You You can't give him any fault there. He did the best he could there with division just putting so much pressure on them. It's very hard to ask anybody. And now it's your division. You could reasonably run down this clock. The way you're playing today, you could reasonably run down this clock. One more touchdown, I think, seals it for you.
Owen West rolling into pressure that time. He hasn't had much of a chance with the way this division defensive line has just dominated the second half.
Timeout division here.
An interesting move, looking to regroup before going out on offense. We'll take a sec to regroup with him on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
So the division cheerleaders getting into it. All the division fans watching at home, maybe across the country. That might be a little ambitious. Presumably into this one. A handoff up the middle.
And they have a very large presence here today. I can hear them all game.
And a good stop for Southside. But to your point, JP, the clock, their enemy now. We've seen Division wear down the opposition defensive line.
And they got something to cheer for there. Oh, you see it? They got something to cheer for you. And there's an
injured player down for the Cyclones. So we'll take a quick break, let you know who it is in just a sec after that short gain for division to open up this fourth quarter drive.
Over the middle, he's got a man. It's complete. Ciolino. See you later.
Going long, wide open, Perazi, he gets it, Perazi, foot raise, 10, 5, make it, touchdown, punch, power punch.
The Frickery Rider gets it back, goes over the top for Haberman.
What a catch! This Ross Simmons strips him, that's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. Make it, touchdown, touchdown East.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
So a significant injury for Southside. It was TJ Marr, the heart and soul of this team on both sides of the ball, getting carried off and given a little bit of water. You hope it's just a cramp or something, but that's their team. Or excuse me, looks like Owen West out there now. And a big tackle on the perimeter. Southside fired up to play for their leader, TJ Marr.
And yeah, I was looking there for a second on the play there. They're kind of showing a little bit more now. Division's kind of showing a little bit more. They're kind of having bunches over there on the far side. So it's going to be interesting to see what they use here, because they were using bunches earlier.
Little diamond formation.
Yeah, a little split back here.
Stan Carone.
Man
in motion, and they'll give to Pendergrass. And he'll jump forward. It's a very conservative set of offense there for Rob McNamara and the Dragons.
That's what you got to be here. I mean, it's fourth down. At this point, I hate to say you got to punt it for your division, but if you're Southside, this is huge for you. You might have a little more life here. Maybe get a quick touchdown.
It looks like they're set up to go for it here on 4th and 6.
They're going to go for it. All
They're
right.
trying to seal this game. Stan Carone sprinting to the perimeter. It'll be a foot race to see if he can get the first down. A late hit right around the marker. It'll be up to the officials. Look like just enough for the first.
They are, let's see, it looks like they're giving it to him.
What a run from Stan Carone. Surviving that heck of a collision with Dan Fuentes. So here you get a look on replay. Shoulder to shoulder, but Stan
First
Carone.
down. They're giving it to him. First down there.
Wow, and what in a game full of ballsy calls from Rob McNamara. Remember them going for it in that first quarter on 4th down. So got this whole thing started. Maybe an exclamation point on both ends of this 18-0 run.
Like the words of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach, Arians. No risk it, no biscuit, as they say in Tampa.
Stan Carone, the fake to Pendergrass. Now the give. Stan Carone finding some space, knifing through a sea of red and past midfield.
And you look at Mara, it looks like he wants to come back in the game here. He's grabbing his helmet, he wants in after that play. He's looking, he's like, I want back in there.
And those read options just shredding this Southside defense.
And right now, if I'm a college coach, I'm looking at Stan Carone, I'm like, man, this kid's good. I mean, he's showing why he was an All-Lion player last year. And this division team's legit. I mean, they are a legit team right now. They're showing it against a really, really good team.
Stan Carone setting up his blockers took a little bit too much time as he's chucked down in the backfield.
And that was a huge play here because now, after the first down, now you go to that. And it's... Ooh. It's only a... Yeah, I was looking at that for a second. I'm like, they had the marker wrong. They were showing 4th on that. I'm like, what? That missed like 3 plays, but it's 2nd down here. I mean, this is big here to continue this drive.
2nd and 12 from the 49, 6:45 to go. Give. And Pendergrass breaks the tackle and now bounces it outside. Jack Pendergrass. It'll be a foot race to the end zone. Pendergrass trying to get there. A step farm. He'll get in. And that could seal the upset for Levittown Division.
Wow. That's impressive right there. I mean, that's a man who wants to play here.
And look at that. Pendergrass was stopped but never tackled. Bounced it outside. And how about the speed from the junior? We knew
look at the size. Look at the size of him. He's built like a house. And he moves. He kind of moves like a guy that he's got movement of a lighter guy, but the size of a big guy here.
Hey man, look, we were talking about you, Kelleher, a little earlier. Do we dare invoke that name? Maybe just for that run.
No.
A little bit more.
Yeah, it was Kelleher-esque there. They're going for 2.
2-point conversion. Stan Carone breaks the tackle, breaks
He'll get
another. He's too big. A 2-point conversion, and with 6:31 to go, that could seal it.
Yeah, I mean, they got the clock running. I don't know why. But, yeah, I mean, wow. I mean,
20-point advantage.
This is impressive. I mean, first of all, this is a major upset. I mean, Southside was considered going into the season one of the best teams in the county. Was considered that tier.
I think three seed in group.
It was basically considered 3 teams were automatically going to Hofstra. Now I think that's cracking. I think there's going to be a few teams. Maybe tomorrow Bethpage and Manhasset. We'll see how they respond when they hear this. There's going to be a lot of teams now looking like, huh. Originally they was thinking 3 had it. Maybe that division, a couple other teams are like, huh. Maybe we can go there.
This division team is a problem. I mean, they have a size that's equivalent to everyone and a star quarterback leading the way. We'll see if they can finish this off next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, 3-point shot is up and in. You back them back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
A 20-point lead for the Division Dragons. Who would have thought it? And Southside is going to have to make something happen. That could
And
be
here
a
they
good
come.
start.
Here's the response.
There you go, scaling the sideline
Don't
all the way in. Brady West.
This game ain't over yet. Southside has an answer very quickly with Brady West.
Special teams, very special for the lacrosse star. And that's how you close the lead real quick.
And I'm going to make this call. You're going for 2. I'm making the gutsy call of going for 2 here if I'm Southside. Look.
It's either a 12-point game or a 14-point game, but neither team has shown the ability to make an extra point, so you'd presume that's the path they'll go down. But how about that? They say in the biggest moments, your best players need to step up. Brady West, when his offense wasn't doing much, found a way to say, we don't even need to come out. We'll score right here.
And you know what? That's what you need. And if you're Southside, like I said, you've got to go for 2 here. But it looks like they're going to kick it. I mean, interesting. I find that very interesting.
Still a two-possession game either way.
Cyclones lining up for the extra point attempt.
Talking to Phil Anesto, he said Brady West.
They're looking for something out there. I mean, looking.
With Matt Melkonian out for this one, the single fastest player on this team.
Wait. They might. How many guys they got out there?
Yeah, they're figuring
Start
out right
counting. I mean. Ooh, hold on a minute here.
No, it's 11.
Yeah, I was looking. I'm like, it was like, do they have 10? It looked like they had 10 for a second.
So their young kicker, and that one put into the first points of the young career of Nick Papadopoulos. Come at a crucial time, 26-13. We might just have a game here in Southside. And we'll take a break on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got up. He's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
So an approximately 60-yard kickoff return touchdown for Brady West, ensuring that we're going to be in for an intriguing final 6 minutes, presumably an onside kick coming up for the Cyclones. They get that. My prediction of this one being over will start looking a little premature, JP.
I mean, you have to go for the onside here. I mean, are we assuming, like, they're bringing out the tape? Remember, they were kicking it earlier because I guess how the guys kick. So sometimes I see when they put the ball down flat, they're going for the onside a little. That's sometimes a little tomfoolery, I say, with the ball. But
6 minutes and change to go in the game.
yeah, you kind of have to go for the onside here from Southside. I think that's almost a guarantee.
It'll be Papadopoulos again, just a sophomore. The Southside crowd going insane. Matt Solhana running onto the field late, and it's kicked to the left. Takes a couple bounces. Oh, out of bounds. Every opportunity to go and get it for Brady West, but couldn't quite get their flags down anyways. So maybe there was another issue.
That's for the penalty.
For kicking it out of bounds.
Yeah, so they're going to get, I think, a few extra yards on that. Division's going to get it probably.
Wow, but Brady West had it. I mean, he can't play. He ran as hard as he could, but he had a decent shot at that.
Like you're going to look back on it, you're going to be like, how could this game maybe have turned made more interesting? Right there. That's a big play. Now, you know what? Your division, all you got to do now is run out 6 minutes. That's a huge mistake there by Southside. That's huge.
Do you expect to see Division put the ball in the air this time? Maybe getting a little bit too conservative?
No, I'd be running. If I'm McNamara, I'm running the ball. Unless I have to. I mean, look, I'm going to run the ball the first two downs. And if I can't get anything, I'm passing on third. At this point, Your goal is just to move the ball, get the clock moving. Right now, you want to take the clock off at least.
And when your last carry was Jack Pendergrass looking like a prime Adrian Peterson, you say, yeah, we can run the ball.
I mean, he was looking very good there, but he looked like Kayvon Hall a little bit, I'll argue. A little more Kayvon Hall-esque.
Levittown Division ball.
And they're keeping on the ground.
Stan Carone, who nearly escaped for another massive run, was just barely dragged down from behind by, guess who, TJ Marr, somehow back in the game. That looked like a catastrophic injury, so probably the best news of the night for Southside is that he's okay.
And he was looking like he wanted to get back out there, and he was coming up a little slow after that too. But it's a big thing here is like, he wants to play. He shows this guy's a football player. If I'm a college coach and I'm looking at TJ Marr tonight, he's showing to me he's a football player. That guy wants to play. He loves the game. And he also loves his teammates by making sure he gets back out there.
Stan Carone talking to Rob McNamara before this game. He said he still has to work on his reads, particularly against zone defense.
He's looking great tonight, though.
Yeah, and that's been hard to do, given that he's, again, in his third offense in a year and a half. So tonight we've mostly seen him rely on the run game, but when they've needed to throw, when they've needed to find Bobby Simpson, he's had a lot of success.
That's big here. They ran out of bounds. I would want to keep him in bounds here. Like if you're division, you want to stay in bounds. You don't want to go out of bounds here. That could be interesting here because it's now third down, and if you stop him here, you're going to give Southside probably 4 minutes. And they're a speed team, so they could reasonably score.
So a loaded right side, 3 blockers there. They go the other way with it to Pendergrass. Pendergrass looking for room, not going to find any as he
and they're calling a timeout. See, Southside's calling a timeout here.
By Andrew Fingleton.
Yeah, they want a timeout. I mean, I had to mention that because that's big here. They got to call the timeout because you're not going to get the ball about 4:30. And the way you're playing, you might have a chance to get a touchdown at least and maybe get another shot at the onside kick if you can score.
Seems as if it's going to be, can that Southside offensive line hold up? Because we didn't get to see that last time. It's just Brady West scoring on the kickoff.
But here's the big thing here. Here's the big thing. If I'm division, I may go for it here. I may decide, you know what, I'm not punting it. Let them earn it, and I trust my defense. This could be a real McNamara test here. Does he have the guts to understand? This is one thing that I'd say everyone at home got to understand here. You get it. Like if they go for it here, that's trusting his defense. That's betting on his defense no matter what. That he believes that his defense can win him in this game no matter what. Because either they're going to get it at this spot or they're going to get it down the field. So if they go for it, he's betting on his defense here. So that's the big thing. If they look like they're going to go for it, it looks like they're going to punt. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try a fake or something. At least maybe
it's the beauty of having your quarterback be your punter. You have a lot of options.
Maybe try to draw him off and maybe take. I hate to say it. Maybe try to draw him off and just punt right before.
It's a 4th and 6 from their own 44. Stan Carone will boot it. A high archer trying to ensure Brady West doesn't have time to work more magic, but West will get it on the bounce, trying to run right, cuts it back middle. West,
and a
flag comes down, but he's still running. And a gorgeous tackle from the quarterback, Stan Carone.
And you know what? We'll see what the penalty is here, but if mattering by what the penalty is, it could be a block and back. Ooh, and the lights have gone out here at Southside. Now we have legitimately lost the lights. This, what you're seeing in a second, is legitimately no lights.
This is taking a blackout game very literally.
Yeah, we're out. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. They might. Uh-oh.
So I guess we'll see how that resolves. It'll be.
They ended the game.
No, they said the game.
Wait, now
the game is not over.
Not over? Okay, yeah. I thought it said now over. I'm like, geez. They just ended the game.
All right, we'll take a break for the lights to get fixed here. Maybe a little dramatic pause in anticipation of Southside's potentially incredible comeback.
Remember what happened in that Super Bowl, right?
There you go. There's a prime history of this. Or Division's big win. We'll find out next on, you guessed it, the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. and photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games,
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
school events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
So back on the Varsity Media Sports Network, it doesn't look any brighter up there. The sun has not risen, the lights have not turned on. So we got a little pause in this one as Southside tries to string together a comeback with 4 minutes left, JP.
I mean, talk about lights out play. I mean, Division's defense has been lights out tonight, basically. I mean, it's perfect. I think it's perfectly fitting for this. And, you know, it's interesting. I was kind of thinking about this game a little bit, how big of an impact this game is when you talk about the rest of the county right now. I think a lot of teams watching this game are thinking, maybe we can get to Hofstra now. Maybe it's no longer a 3-horse race. Maybe it's only a 2-horse race. There might be 2 open spots at Hofstra after tonight. And there's Manhassets, the Bethpages, the 4 Parks, Divisions of the world, Valley North. They're all thinking right now, we can maybe get to Hofstra. But the question is, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, the question is, how long will it take the lights on here? Because how much will that play in this?
Lights were on a auto shut-off timer. They will go on within 15 minutes.
We might have a 50. This could be interesting here because.
Please remain calm and in place. Lights will return in 15 minutes.
I mean, this is the interesting thing here.
Thank you for your support.
Is now that you're going to have about 15 minutes. They just announced it's going to be about 15 minutes. There's an auto switch. The lights must have turned on at 8 o'clock. The question is, does this change the momentum? We've got 4 minutes. And a whole lot of stuff can happen here, so.
How much work can you even do, though? Can you communicate with your guys?
Oh, no, you can. It's very simple right now. What I'd be doing if I was a coach, I'd be saying to my guys, here, I got a tablet. If you have tablets, the team's allowed to have tablets on the sideline.
Sure.
Get a tablet out and be like, just using it for people, like just showing, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to maybe do a fake play here.
It's you mentioned this to me.
And they're playing the perfect music. I mean, Jeopardy music's perfect for this. I mean,
to quell the rioting crowd.
I mean, I think it's funny as heck to enjoy the Jeopardy music, but you know, like, it is interesting, and you know what? We'll see. I mean,
to your point, we did get a blackout in what was one of the best Super Bowls of the last 2 decades, so maybe a precedent for an amazing end to this game. We'll find out, again, within 15 minutes on the Varsity Media Sports Network. back to action on the Varsity Media Sports Network, where it is still dark at Southside High School, but hey, we have the moon. Maybe not quite enough light to play this game, but hopefully this will get figured out in the next 10 minutes or so. Again, it is a 26-13 lead.
Beautiful moon there.
Division
Beautiful.
over South. Yeah, we've gotten just fantastic camera work throughout this game. The sunset was gorgeous.
And the trees they showed earlier. I mean, it's great job, camera guys.
Outside of the whole stadium being dark, this is about as good as it gets. Anyways, we'll see if it gets resolved at some point in the near future. JP, this is a good opportunity for me to ask you, what else are you looking forward to in Long Island football over the first couple weeks of the season?
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Wantagh back in 3. The reigning, can they repeat? I mean, they have a 3-headed monster in the backfield. Can they repeat this year in 3? Do one of the rare feats of winning in 2 different conferences in different back-to-back years. Then you have Garden City going for history. I think that's a big deal. Jazz Cascade and all this team, the history of that team. I love the music they're playing too. But it's like, it's fitting, isn't it? But it's like for this year, there's a lot of history on the line. Like Charlie McKee, can he win his LIC? Can win maybe the greatest quarterback in Nassau County history. I can argue because of how many games he's had of over 250 yards. 300 yards, 400-yard games. He's had a lot. He's had a lot of games that make you just say, wow. Can he win that last thing that he needs, that Long Island championship win? That's all he needs to finalize his legacy, possibly the greatest quarterback in Nassau County history. So, and in 4, can Seaford win Upper Powell? I mean, Upper Powell's that division wearing blue. Can the green continue? Can the Seaford continue that green wave of success with Mike Conklin, the former Roslyn coach there? Last week they were impressive over East Rockaway. The question is, can they continue that? I mean, I'm looking forward to that. But out in Suffolk, I'm looking forward to a lot of things too. Seeing if Shoreham can rebuild, regroup. Can Bayport Blue Point? Can somebody else dethrone them? Mount Sinai even. In 3, is Sayville going to win again? Can Sayville continue the dynasty? In 2, who's going to win 2? Is it still? Who's going to win it? It's literally that who's going to win 2 argument. Northport, a whole bunch of other teams in that mix. Hills East. Is Hills East going to be able to win that county title, that elusive county title for that great program? And last but not least, can anybody touch Floyd? That's the big thing. Can anybody touch William Floyd in 1? And we start to have some lights turn on. We're getting some lights now. I mean, it's going to take a little while to warm up. But, hey, there's a lot of fun.
This is a cool sight, though. You see division in the middle of the field, like under the light. Obviously not safe to play football this way, but it's a hypothetical.
I mean,
I don't know.
Did
you as a kid ever play like at a field where like they mostly shut the lights off and it's kind of faded?
Actually,
and it's a little iffy, or like basketball where you can't really see the hoop anymore. Yeah. Those end up being some of your best memories.
I've seen some games played in lighting like this where there was like dark spots because they had brought in portable lights. So hey, it could be played in this. I mean, yeah, if they really wanted to and say, you know what, let's just get out of here, let's play this game. It's lit enough. Is it safe? I mean, that's the whole thing, Like your question, like, is it safe? Is it not? I mean, I'm just gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna leave. I'm not the one to judge there, but I'm just interested to see if this changes this game. How much this changes this game? And here we go. It looks like we're actually gonna play here. All right.
So we're getting back to it again. Just over. Well, now 2:11 on the clock. I thought there was that's what it's showing on the scoreboard. I thought there were 4 minutes left in this game. So
they were off. I was talking to the announcer. It's 2:11 is now the clock.
Well, okay, so that changes things pretty dramatically. We thought Southside had a chance to put together 2 quick drives. Now they have to go that much faster. Owen West trying to do just that, chucking it down the right sideline. Oh, that was close. Wow. Right through the hands of his older brother Brady, pounding the turf. Inches away from a big-time play.
And this is the big thing here, is that I like that Southside went deeper in the first play here. Now the question's going to be this. Can you just make that big play and take advantage of that break? Be able to make maybe a minor adjustment, a little bit of a short, maybe like a little bit of a halftime type feel, where you could just get adjustments made. That's the big question, and we'll see here. I mean, this is big.
And to your point, Southside had a chance to plan out that shot. They were counting on connecting at that. At this point in the game, down by 2 scores, you pretty much have to be perfect from this point forward to have any chance. Owen West, this time looking left side, skims one over the middle. Oh, that should have been picked.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big deflection. I mean, look, you in a way you're kind of okay with that because you know what? You're looking at the field position because it's 4 down territory at this point, so you got to go for it. I mean, we'll see. With 2 minutes left here, we'll see what they do.
Connor Gentili nearly coming up with that ball.
And here we go. Here we go.
Inside 2 minutes.
I hope everyone was able to get ready at the end of this one because I think this is going to be what could be the game-deciding play right here.
2 minutes on the clock. Quick throw. And should most likely be a first down for Dan Fuentes, but obviously you'll take that if you're division.
No, it's going to be fourth. It's going to be about 4th and 2. It looks like.
So I'll double down. You'll really take that if you're division.
Yeah, I mean right now it's 4 down territory, but the clock is running, so you're dealing with a running clock here.
Southside, you figure they need a little more urgency.
Yeah, you're going to need this is now when you're going.
This is interesting. You see Ryan Castle in there at quarterback to try and chuck it deep. Again, he does have the bigger arm of the 2 QBs, so it came late in the game, but he's getting his opportunity.
And a whistle some type here.
Timeout taken by division, and if you're Rob McNamara, why not take a timeout there and ensure you have the best possible play because you get the stop, the game is over. I know I've said that before, but this time it's really
No, this
over.
is it. This is the game right here. I mean, Southside decided, you know, when the game's on the line, we're going to go with the veteran here. Even though he hasn't played all day, we're willing to take the veteran instead of the sophomore. And you know what? We'll see. It's going to be interesting, the decision that division makes and the play call Southside makes. Maybe a hook and ladder, maybe some tomfoolery of some type, Statue of Liberty. Maybe you do see something like that here.
And it's interesting because we were talking about the hype of the Southside team, and they certainly feel as if they're talented enough to have earned that preseason 3 seed in Conference 3. But if you're looking for a drawback and a reason that they might not have gotten there, why even coming into this game, maybe we could have predicted that they'd have some struggles. It is the experience at quarterback. I mean, we're talking about the veteran. That's a guy who, as a sophomore, played 3 games of JV last year, or a couple games of JV, and then hasn't really played high school football outside of that, outside of being a freshman. So it's so relative. Like, this team just does not have a lot of depth and, years at that quarterback position.
And this is now going to be the big decision for Coach Ernesto. Is what play you call here? Is this like you got to go with your gadget play? You're all or nothing. Risk it or biscuit play here. Risk it for a biscuit play, and I'm probably going to go with a Hail Mary of some type.
Yeah, instead they'll run it, try and get the first down, and I don't know if he got there.
No, I don't think he did either. And it looks like they're gonna probably have to measure it. I mean, Division fans think they have it. I mean, they're ruling.
Clock is still going, and it looks like it is in fact division ball.
Yeah,
and that should be the ball game.
Yeah, and the clock should be stopped here. I mean, that's interesting. Is the guys they need to be stopping the clock.
And again, the clock, we were just talking about this, JP, the clock on the scoreboard, not the official clock, the official time kept on the field, so I'm sure that'll get corrected.
I don't know why the clock is still running.
And we can start talking about it. What an upset for Division to open this season.
For Coach McNamara, this is a program win. This is a win for the program you need to rebuild. This is something to build off for the rest of the season. It looks like they're just going to run out the time here. They're just letting time run out, it looks like.
We talked about between Rob Purpall, Pat Nolan, the experience they added to this staff, and Rob McNamara.
And don't forget, MacArthur quarterback, former MacArthur quarterback Kyle Cavella is coming here too.
Yeah.
He'll be on the way to help them out. So they're getting reinforcements in the staff as well for a staff that is really, really good. And yeah, they're calling a ball game.
To your
that's
point,
the ball game.
What a proof of concept for Rob McNamara and the Levittown Division Dragons, a 26-13 win over the Southside Cyclones. And a year of turnover, having to deal with COVID, only getting a couple of games in the spring, and on the third offensive coordinator in the last year and a half for their star quarterback, Christopher Stancarone. What an incredible run by him in this game. And in the passing game, too, Bobby Simpson, an awesome afternoon. Jack Pendergrass, a big touchdown run. A complete afternoon, or I should say night, for the three-headed monsters, guided by that offensive line. And to your point, JP, the key to this game ultimately for Levittown, we can talk about all that Skilltown, but it was that line play on both sides of the ball.
And you know what? If you're Southside, you're going to take this out of this game. Week 2 is your season. Your season starts next week. You have Valley Stream South. Then 6 of your next 7 are going to be probably playoff teams. Maybe all 7 of your games after that. 6 out of your 7 games, you could potentially have 7 playoff opponents. Now, by how South is this year, it's very possible. That's the big thing here now. Is Southside going to be able to regroup after this loss? It's how they react. If the division, how do you deal with a big win like this? Can you stay on top?
It's a conundrum that you enjoy to have if you're Rob McNamara. Levittown Division and the Dragons getting up to a big win to start the season, a 26-13 upset over the Southside Cyclones, who have some soul searching to do following this opening game. For my partner JP, I'm Gavin Scholl, our producer Chris Sweeney, and our entire team here at the Varsity Media Sports Network. So long from Southside High School, a big win to open the season for the Dragons.